Hello everyone out there in YouTube land, this is Charlie Barley coming at you with another video. In this video, I'm going to talk about why you should not play with emotions, why you should not play the game of roulette as a professional by playing with your emotions. Reason I'm doing this video is because I have a few students, or I call them students. Everyone who buys from me, I call you a student. So I have a few who get the systems. They go out and then they make a lot of money and then they lose it. And one of the videos I just recently did on money management, if you have not seen that video, go check the video out. And I really encourage you guys to really think about what it is that you're doing. Really think about what it is that you're doing. Understand the game that you're playing, because if you don't truly understand the game that you're playing, you're going to play it with emotions. And what I mean by emotions is when you get down, you tend to chase losses, or you don't have really a stop loss built into your strategy. Stuff like that to properly manage your abilities to continue to play. Because the truth is that probably your most advantageous time to play is right after you've blown or you've lost a few times. You should never blow your bankroll. You should always have a system where your bankroll never gets blown. Okay, or you should approach the game to a point where it never gets blown. But what happens is that people start playing with emotions, and I got plenty of emails of folks say, "Hey, I was up a few $100, and then the right thing hit me, and then I fell back down to zero." And I said in my video before, and I just did another video on it about playing with emotions, not so much using that vernacular, but playing from a perspective of, wow, I lost, I've got to go get it back, as if this game is not going to continue to play tomorrow or whenever, and you can make up your losses over time instead of trying to play them all back instantly. That's the reason why you should have a stop loss. You should have a schedule. These are some of the things that I teach in the mentor program. In addition to strategy, it takes quite a bit of diligence to actually master this part of the game. It really does. The biggest part of the game, and the students that are excelling with me, they'll tell you, is you. The biggest part of the game is not even strategy, it's yourself. It's yourself. But what I wanted to show you guys here, this is a guy named Curtis Wall Street Jackson. And it was an interview who was done by Sway. And Curtis Wall Street Jackson is a millionaire who made $1 million in prison. Okay, so people say it's impossible to become a millionaire playing roulette. That's such a lie. It's impossible to retire playing roulette. That's such a lie. I know people really kill me when they think that things are impossible. We can fly to the moon. We could, man was never born with wings, but we fly faster and higher than any bird that did. But for some reason, you guys think that this is impossible. Let me show you this clip about Curtis Wall Street Jackson. I think he's still in prison, but he went to prison for a murder charge some years ago. And while in prison, he could not read, he couldn't write, but he learned the stock market. And one of the things how he became rich was because how he noticed permutations and trends. One of the biggest trends he noticed were how people were investing their money. They were investing their money through emotional responses to the market. If something happened, they would move their money. They would shift course, or they would abandon a strategy, or maybe did not really have a true strategy at all anyway. But I want you guys to listen to this guy, and then I'm going to chime in once he's done. He's talking about emotions and investment and how he literally became rich. It's just going to be a small clip, and then I'll be right back.
It was this company that I bought. Called Acamo Technology or something like that. There was this highflying.com company during the financial crash. I think their CEO died in the World Trade Center, and the company had went go. And I was basically trying to figure out what to buy. And so my whole idea was that people were selling and buying based on how they felt as opposed to what the information was. And so I kind of took that approach. Stock prices were like 50 cents or something like that. I go in, I buy, stock price went to like $2. That was like one of my first trades, and I thought, oh, okay, wow, this is cool. I didn't realize I didn't know a lot of what I thought I did here, because you make some money, you think you got all that, you think you got all the answers.
Yeah.
And that was like that really moment that I thought like.
All right, so I had to stop it here. Wow, he said a mouthful in just that little bit. The last thing he said was, when you make some money, you think you got all the answers. What happens, folks, is when you get these strategies, a lot of times, you start winning. Like, I have one guy who said he's hasn't lost in 800 straight consecutive times. Now, that could very well be true, because a lot of the stuff I do, you can win within huge amounts of time like that, straight. And that's no joke, that's no lie, and I can show you that, all right? So, but are you willing to do it? That's going to be the question. Very few people are willing to walk the right path. But this guy, Curtis Wall Street Jackson, like I said, this interview was done with Sway in the morning. Go check out this whole interview. This guy, he's a millionaire from prison. And one of the things he just mentioned was about the emotions that people carry when they're investing, and when they don't have the right information, they don't have the right strategy, they make emotional decisions. And that's the biggest thing I want to get to you. I have a student who, and I have an email, he says that, he's been practicing on one of the strategies he hadn't lost in 800 straight times. Now, that's very true, and I could show you. I have a number of different things you can do that will allow you to do it. But here is the problem. It's just what this guy said. When you make some money, you think you got all the answers. The answer is not in the 800 spins. That's not how you make $1 million. What you do in making $1 million playing this game, you be okay making $5. Be okay making that 5 and leaving and doing it consistently. If you can consistently make 5, you can consistently make 5,000. You can consistently make 5 million. But you got to get consistent with the one. If you're going to work out, you got to start lifting 10 pounds before you lift 100. All right? Emotional decisions. I want to have the body of a bodybuilder in 6 months. Emotional responses, microwaves to society. All this stuff makes us who we are. And it creates this appetite of thirst beyond knowledge and wisdom and patience. And because of that, we become very emotional in our play. When we up, we don't leave. And I'm willing to bet 95% of us will get up and we will not leave. That's our biggest problem. Biggest problem. But when we lose, we don't have a plan to reconcile losses. There's a big difference between chasing losses and going after. I always say your biggest losses right after is the most advantageous time to play. But you never chase losses. What I consider chasing losses is when you don't have a definitive plan or a strategy to be able to go after losses. You don't understand the probability or statistical value of why your set of plays lost. And when you don't know that, that's what you call chasing. You'll begin to chase after that. You'll become very emotional and you'll make poor decisions in your play. Believe me, it has happened to me too. It has happened to everyone. All right. But to get you on a solid course of playing, I'm telling you, it's the hardest thing to do is get over yourself. It's the hardest thing. The students that are having success with me will all tell you it's you. Okay, so stop becoming emotional when you play. Have a stop loss. Have a good strategy. Have a stop loss and a strategy. If you get these bundle systems like people are getting, you're starting to make money and you're losing money, I'm telling you, it's because you're playing too long. All of these emails always say, I've been playing for an hour, I played for an hour yesterday, and I got up this long, and then I lost it the second hour. And then I'm willing to bet they didn't have proper bankroll and they played way too long. You cannot overstay your welcome. Okay? If you only have $50 and the lights cost $200 and you don't get any customers, you are a poor businessman. You have to budget for the event that you don't get customers. You have to budget for the event where you actually may lose $1. You may lose a round or a spin or a few spins. How do you manage that? What every company, every investment, everything you do has a polarity to it. There's ups and there are downs. How you manage it and go about it is what makes you good or bad. Period. If those principles do not resonate with you, if you're not playing from those type of principles, you are literally a gambler, and you can look forward to the casino continuing to take more and more money from you. All right, guys. So listen, stop playing with emotions. Take the money and leave. If you want any of the system, Permutations Pro. Come up and through Christmas, I made this deal. Well, if you want any of my stuff, it's 50% off up and through Christmas. So if you want that, send me an email at permutationspro at gmail.com. And you can get any of the stuff I'm doing, the numbers game, all the stuff that I have is off the hook. All the stuff it works great. The problem is that can you get up after you've won? Can you be consistent in winning? Okay, that's going to be the case. All right. Progressions are amazing. Progressions are used in the stock market. The problem that people have in progressions is that they play them too long. Okay. They play them too long. So if you want to get yourself on track, you want a good mentor to help you through this. And so as long as you follow the instructions, you're going to have plenty of success. I have people who pay me every week because they're making money playing. This is the truth. Okay. So, and because they're in the mentor program, you don't necessarily have to be in the mentor program to do this though. You can take the bundle, get the bundle packages, get one of the programs, build over time. Okay. All right. Third shift is one of the numbers game. All the stuff teach it. All the things in the bundle packages teach you different ways to see the game, so that when you approach the game, you're not stuck at, okay, which way do I go? How do I start? There is a number of different ways to look at this game and to be able to have a permutative value based upon probabilities and odds of the best way to approach it, to be able to get those 1 or 2 wins and leave, or 3 or 4, or whatever the goal is for you. So it's like, it's all there for you. Take your time now. Don't become emotional. All right. And go out here and retire from this. It's like sitting in your, and I know it's difficult to maybe look at that after you say, oh, I've lost so much. Trust me, it happens. This is a new beginning for a lot of people. And I'm just grateful that I'm able to help in that process. All right. So never mind what people are telling you. It's an amazing winning game, but you've got to be the bigger winner of the game. Okay. If this guy can be in prison and make $1 million, only thing you got to do is get out of the prison of your own mind. Of your own mind. I had to do the same thing because I thought playing roulette was the dumbest. I thought gambling was dumb until I had to reverse the way I thought about it, because everything we do has a risk and a reward. So what are we really saying? What we're really saying is, what's the most calculated, best calculated way to make money in this world? Well, what gives you the most odds, the best odds to make it? Roulette does, actually. And there's a couple other games out there, but roulette does. The problem is, it's so fast and easy. It's like getting into a car that goes from 0 to 300 in 3.2 seconds, right? It's very easy to wreck yourself going too hard and too fast. Very easy. Happens all the time with people who have something way too powerful and don't know how to manage it. My first time driving a Lamborghini, I never will forget this. The moment I hit the gas, that thing flew like I wasn't used to the power, right? So I revved it in neutral, and as soon as I hit the gas, I thought I was hitting it a little soft. That thing jerked very, very hard. Sorry about this immediate cutoff, guys. I'm having a little technical difficulty, but to finish that story, but yeah, the Lamborghini, the thing is that when it's just too much power, you got to know how to reel it back. You have to be careful when you're dealing with something that has this much power. The game of roulette is very powerful. Like I said, it's the most advantageous way to make money statistically by the numbers. But what gets people is that they're playing way too long, and then you're not even taking your money when you're up. Okay, that's the whole point: is to take more than you came with. All right. So if you get up, don't take more chances by playing too long, particularly when you don't have the bankroll. And by all means, don't become an emotional player. You're playing based upon emotions. If you're winning a lot, you're emotional and you continue to play long. If you're losing, you generally walk, or you don't even have proper bankroll or things to manage your business anyway. Little things like that. Things like that is what I help teach in the mentor program. And I always say, even if you didn't have the mentor program, if you just listen to some of the stuff that I'm teaching, some of the to help round your game out, listen to those things, some of those principles, and I think you'll be just fine with any of the bundle packages that I have. The thing about my systems is that they are all permutations based, and which everything's a permutation, by the way, but they have high probability odds. Okay, the thing about it though is that you can't sit there and play this like a Nintendo. Okay, you are in a financial game here, a financial game, a money game. Like, you've got to understand the type of car you're driving, man. Like, this is a beast. Okay, so you gotta be very wise and careful about it. All right, guys, that's enough. Take a look at this. Meet Curtis Wall Street Carroll. Take a look. This is a really good story about this young guy. I guess he's not too young now. Really good story about him. And like I said, if you want anything from me, permutationspro@gmail.com. Send me an email. The bundle, everything's still 50% off until Christmas. So if you want to take advantage of that, by all means, go ahead and do so. Until then, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year if I don't come back again. Take care.